Hey, Tim, good morning. Craig, Blaze, Chazo, Craig. I just said Craig twice. Ian, good to have you over. Just letting some people flow in here, and we're going to jump on this and get going. Some interesting templates this week. Feel free to shout anything out that you think is setting up for a 3-day template, and I will take a look at it, of course. We got lots of time today. Hey, good morning, David. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in the world. Let's get going. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. The information on this channel is provided for education, informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Please feel free to pause the stream, read through this. That way you know I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am doing this for education and entertainment purposes only. Good stuff. All right, so we're going to start out with the news calendar. I'm just going to show you all this real quick. Monday, Tuesday, a little bit of news. Lots of late news this week because we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. All right, first Friday of the month, non-farm payrolls. And a lot of times the weekly templates are going to be set up, or the news calendar is going to be set up with late news all week long, which means that a lot of moves can happen later in the day. A lot of times the moves that are expected earlier in the day don't really eventuate, they don't explode, they don't whatever. This week, my mentality, as it always is to protect capital, to only take trades that are perfect, that the template is set up at a certain time of day for me to take that trade, and there's no guessing. All right, I'm not guessing. And if I feel like I'm guessing, I'm not taking that trade. I'm just going to wait till Friday. All week long, that's always my mentality. Just survive on these non-farm payrolls weeks. Make it to Friday and maybe get one great trade. Or Friday might be setting up the next week for great trades in the new month. All right, so there's the news calendar. Today, Wednesday, we have the 8/15 ADP non-farm employment change. We got some news on CAD. CAD. Then at 10 o'clock, we have ISM Services PMI on U.S. dollars. So we might be waiting till 10, depending on how things set up with this 8/15, but also with early news and then late news. This gives the market the opportunity to spike both directions. They could spike up, go immediately back into consolidation all the way till 10 o'clock. Could be a third-hour trade, right? So you really have to pay attention to that news calendar and keep yourself from just jumping in, FOMOing into something because it looks good. That's certainly not what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to start out on the natural gas. We're going to start out on natural gas. I'm going to zoom out. I took a trade on this pair yesterday. I'll zoom out and tell you why. We had peak formation made on Friday. This is not accurate as far as the times of these because it's natural gas, right? That's a little bit different. This is the end of the day, right? There. Okay, that's the end of the day. This big bar up is the new day. So just keep that in mind as I'm kind of going through this. So that did not give me 1 day of breakouts to the upside, but what this did do is give me day one of the 3-day cycle. And we can do one of these. Okay, that gave me day one of the 3-day cycle on Friday. Day two of the 3-day cycle was Monday, and that closed as 1 day of breakouts to the upside. It's the first day of breakouts to the upside. They broke out of Friday's high, and they closed higher. This is also peak formation low, 1, 2, and then that came to yesterday on the third day at the high of the current week. Market had gone vertical, and on the 5-minute chart, you can see it a little bit more clearly how it stair-stepped its way up from London, peak formation low in London, and the stair-stepping pattern up, peak formation high, breaks down, makes a lower low, and then in this pullback is where I entered in for that trade. As far as trading setups go, it is a high of day, high of week sell with 3 levels of rise. All right. And then obviously that played out pretty well all the way back down to previous day's low. But that's not why we're here. We're going to focus on today's trading day. So now what we have is a day one of the 3-day cycle. They broke out to the high of the current week, and that breakout has essentially failed and gone back down. Now they broke out of Monday's low and they closed lower. So this is a failed breakout and also a breakout to the downside. That also gives us a first red day, a large pump, and a day that is closed below the open. Now, I want to point out some things. If you watched that video that I just put out about first red day traps, and also if you've ever done the webinar with me, you know the certain considerations that I like to see. You know, does the market make a lower low? Did it close at its lows? Did it break out? Those types of things are all the important parts of the equation, right? A plus B equals C. And also looking at last week, you know, what has happened last week? Are we in breakout mode to the upside or the downside? Obviously, the market's been going back down. We're not going to worry too much about that. What I'm really focused on is Friday's high. So Friday's high is right here. And Monday was a breakout day. They broke out of Friday's high. And then now we potentially have a, I'll put in quotes, first red day that is layering maybe on top of Friday's high, right? So maybe this could be a breakout, a pullback, and now we're on top of Friday's high. So what I'm going to do is now look at the dailies, the template today to see peak formation high, peak formation low, consolidation on top of Friday's high. You know, is this going to be trap volume on top of Friday's high for a move down, first red day, high of day sell, high of session sell, whatever? Or could this have been a breakout, a pullback to Friday's high, a layer on top, basically a peak formation high, peak formation low, consolidation in the middle for a day zero, back up through the high of the week? You know, I really don't know. I'm just going to wait for the certain times of day. Hopefully that explanation is good. If it's not, please let me know, and I'll be happy to come back to this. Natural gas is one of those pairs that I've been kind of scouting and looking at to start taking trades on. And yesterday was the first day that I took a trade on it. You know, chart is a chart, and the template was there, so I took it. Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD peak formation low was made on Thursday, and we've had a stair-stepping pattern, 1, 2, 3 to the high, and then now we have a peak formation high at the high of the current week. Monday's opening range. Monday closed as a breakout day. Let's get that up there. Oh, actually, that's not day one of breakouts. Excuse me. Let's get this. There we go. So Friday closed as a breakout of Thursday's high. They closed outside of the previous day's range, right over yonder. All right, so that's day one of breakouts to the upside. And then we had day two of breakouts to the upside on Monday, and then that resulted in the potential for a first red day. Now, this is also the high of the previous week, right here. So I'm just going through, I'm stating facts, right? And this is exactly what I do for my own analysis to help me identify what kind of template we're in, and also, do I have a setup forming based off of the facts that I have in place? So 2 days of breakouts, a first red day, and then Friday's high was right here. So this is the breakout of Friday's high. They pulled back, essentially broke back down underneath of Friday's high. So I'm going to kind of leave that there. But peak formation high, peak formation low. Where's this at? Right here. And down here. Peak formation high, peak formation low. Consolidation in the middle, Asia London. We started to creep back down into the low of that peak formation low. Again, I don't know if there's going to be a setup on this. I just have the facts. First red day, day one, 3-day cycle. We had 2 days of breakouts to the upside. It's Wednesday, the third day of the week. So what do I need to be focused on? The breakouts, the weekly template, the opening range. We have a very wide range, opening range. All right. Those are the only things that I focused on right now. And then I'm going to wait for the news to present a better template or no template at all. And in fact, I think that the pound might have a more significant template to me personally because it's just set up a little bit better. So we can look at the pound now and look at the previous week's high and also the Friday's high. So Monday was a breakout day. They closed outside of balance or outside of Friday's high, also closing outside of the previous week's high. That resulted in a day one of the 3-day cycle, and then they put a peak formation low on top of Friday's high. So now we have peak formation low, peak formation high. They've consolidated in the middle. I'm going to pull this across over here. And all day long, we've been in this tightly wound, coiled rectangle. So this already, for me, is maybe a better template for a shred day, but I also have a note for myself. Watch out for that breakout pullback. Breakout of previous week's high, breakout of Monday's high, put in a peak formation high. They've also yesterday put in that peak formation low. So now we have a rectangle in the middle, lower consolidation, a part of a larger consolidation, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. Does everybody understand why I think the pound could maybe be setting up a little bit better than the euro? And if not, like I said, as I'm going through this, if I am going a bit quick, I apologize, but I do need to somewhat kind of get through this. Yes, also first red day, and that's what I'm saying about the watch out for breakout pullback. The breakout pullback theory would be based off of the breakout of Friday and previous week and close, and then they've pulled back to Friday's high. So in simpler terms, we broke out. What did we break out of? We broke out of Friday's high. So if we're going to pull back, where are we going to pull back to? We could pull back to Friday's high. That's kind of what's happened. All right, keeping the thought process as easy and simple as possible. Beautiful. Let's go to oil. All right, we're going to zoom out a little bit. Obviously, a down moving market. We had a peak formation high that was formed on Wednesday of last week. That resulted in a first red day and a day one of breakouts. Day one of breakouts led to day two of breakouts. Day two of breakouts led to day three of breakouts. Capitulating to the downside, day four of breakouts. I know I've got day three. Don't worry about that. Doesn't matter how many days of breakouts. I just want to know that I have at least 3 days of breakouts to the downside, which I do. Yesterday was, holy cow, if you traded this, you just got absolutely annihilated, back and forth, whipsaw. But what has that done? It puts us in a rectangle down low. So I'm going to mark that off. One of these. Okay, puts us in a rectangle down low. Do I really have anything particular on this pair that I'm excited to look for? I'm going to argue and say probably not, but I will say that these levels here, previous day's high and yesterday's previous day's low, so the previous day's low from Monday, that is going to be an area to be watching. But as far as like an actual template goes, I'm not particularly excited about this pair. I think that there's other better candidates for me to be watching, so I'm going to go to those candidates. We take a look at silver. Silver is another one that I have never taken a trade on until yesterday. Day one of breakouts was on Thursday of last week. Day two of breakouts to the downside was Friday of last week. And then now we've actually closed in a breakout day today on Tuesday. If you look at the low of Friday, breakout failed yesterday, but then it's now completed. We're down low. Cool. I know that I'm down low. Could this continue to go to the downside? Absolutely 110%. 3 days breakouts to the downside, and then just looking at the daily template to see if I have a setup that is going to present based off of that information. So what would I need to see? I would need to see a higher high on the inside, pullback, a consolidation for a short squeeze if that did present. If not, we could just continue in the direction of the breakout, peak formation high at the high of the day, that we're just kind of in the middle, right? So I've got my rectangle identified, and then I will be watching this as well. All right, but again, maybe some other better templates that are showing up. But we do have 3 days of breakouts on this pair. Maybe if we get a first green day or something like that, we might have templates later in the week setting up. All right, we can look at the indexes. Hey, Paulie, good morning to you as well. All right, indexes. I'm going to start stating some facts about what has happened in the past few days, and then we can go from there. All right, so Friday, peak formation low was made on Friday. They broke out of Thursday's low, closed back on the inside. So that's going to give me day one of the 3-day cycle. And then on Monday, they broke out of Friday's high and they pulled back on the inside. So what does that do? That restarts the day count once again for the 3-day cycle. And whenever that happens, whenever you get a peak formation low, day one, peak formation high, that also results in day one, the best thing, in my opinion, that I can do is stop focusing on the 3-day cycle real quick and let's look at the template that is forming. So peak formation low, peak formation high. Inside day yesterday on Tuesday, that is now breaking out to the upside today on day 3, Wednesday. All right, so day 1, 3-day cycle, day 2, day 3, also day 3 of the week, Wednesday, and we had this inside day. So this is probably one of the templates that I would like to be watching based off of what has been happening. All right, let's see. Ian, good morning. All right, within the current week, we do have peak formation low and high. So peak formation low, peak formation high, but also peak formation high, peak formation low, just within the week itself. So this is like the rectangle that has maybe been broken out of the larger rectangle. The opening range, essentially. This is just the opening range low, the low of Monday. Let's get that up there. All right, and the concept of the inside day is that either one, this inside day is looking for range expansion. We could be in a larger expansion to the upside. Peak formation high, peak formation low, inside day, breakout, explosive move to the upside. The other side of that could be peak formation high, peak formation low, 3 levels of rise, triggering the previous day's high, also known as the inside day. And then we could get a failed breakout at the high of the day, which is also the high of the week. And whenever those breakouts fail, false break of the inside bar, we'd be looking for the other side of the range. All right, so I'll say that one more time. Whenever you have an inside day and a weekly template in general, there's only 2 things that could possibly happen. They're going to either break out and do a range expansion of that inside day to the upside, so we could have high and low of that inside bar. We're looking for a range expansion opportunity back up to here. Or we're looking for a reversal trade where they break out of the inside bar. That breakout then fails and then goes back to the other side of the range. Okay. SBT stands for Stacey Burke Trading, which is a large majority of the style that I trade. I also look at BTMM as well as all of the concepts that Stacey teaches, which are not new. They're all old if you look into everything he's talking about. Opening range breakouts, 3-day cycle, George Douglas Taylor, etc., etc. All right, let's go to US 30. US 30 is a slightly different template, but the concept is actually relatively similar. Peak formation low on Friday, day 1, also day 1 on Monday. So without trying to confuse myself, that's a peak formation low. That's a peak formation high based off of the fact that we had a breakout, breakout fails, breakout, breakout fails. Within the current week itself, again, spike the high, spike the low. That's good enough for me. That's a peak formation low. To start the week, this is the opening range low for the week. This is the opening range high for the week. Get out of there. There we go. I'm going to use my shift key before you all yell at me. There we go. All right, so I'll get this labeled. Okay, opening range high, and then opening range low. And then, you know, it looks slightly different, but if you really think of it just and don't really focus on what the candles are doing, more focus on, Ian, thanks. Instead of focusing on what the candles look like, you can just focus on the aspects of what has happened. Hopefully that makes sense what I just said. Like if I were to just remove the candles altogether, we could do like this. And then I leave this up here. All right, peak formation low, peak formation high. Within the current week, peak formation low, peak formation high, inside day. And then now this is where we're at. That template is a template. And if I go over here, now we have the exact same template. It's just there's no candles. So the candles, it's irrelevant. It's the template that is building and forming based off the previous day's highs and lows, the opening range, and of course the signal days that we can receive like inside day and things like that. That are important. Those are the things that we really need to focus on, not necessarily what the candles look like. And hopefully that has made sense what I just said. I know removing the candles is a little bit wild. Right. And let's also throw one of these up there because this seems like something I should be looking at. Boy, we're in a big box. It is a big box. What about NASDAQ? Okay, big box as well. Peak formation low. 1, 2, 3. It's extended higher, so we might be in 250 pip boxes. 250. Okay. All right, let's take a look at gold. Okay, again, a lot of big boxes being formed, which non-farm payrolls week, right? A lot of these really large boxes that are being formed. Peak formation high on Friday. Peak formation low was made on Monday. We're all just consolidated in the middle of that. We had an inside day yesterday, and on the inside day, the New York session may be setting up for a 3-session setup or something like that. I don't know. Peak high, peak low, inside day. And now, again, we're still just on the inside today on Wednesday, coiling sideways. I got to tell you, I think I'd prefer to just wait till we go to the outside. I don't really want to be on the inside of this. That's my own personal opinion. Someone might yell at me and tell me I'm wrong. Hey, that's cool. Feel free to tell me that, but I think I'm going to stay out of the inside. Dollar CAD. Now, the dollar CAD has been going down. We had a first red day on Thursday. Peak formation high. First red day. First red day trade on Friday in the Asian and London session, and then a breakout. So this was the first day of breakouts to the downside. There we go. Day 1 breakouts. And then that led us into a new week. All right, so we had day 1 breakouts to the downside, a breakout to the downside that then has maybe failed. Peak formation high, peak formation low on Monday. Tuesday went vertical and closed as a breakout day now to the upside over here. So this is day 1 of breakouts now to the upside. Breakout of the opening range high and a consolidation on top of that high. Okay, so breakout, maybe breakout pullback, continuation. Maybe we go to the outside for a failed breakout of the high. Again, I really don't know. All I know is the facts. Today's day 3 of the 3-day cycle. Day 1, day 2, day 3. I know that we have day 1 of breakouts to the upside and a rectangle, and all I can do is just wait patiently for a, the template to set up the rest of the way, or if it even finishes out today. Let's see. A little bit frustrating. I think markets are a little chopped, and we should wait until non-farm on Friday. Hey, Maurice. So I actually, I agree with you. And at the beginning of the stream, I actually did mention that my whole mindset on non-farm payroll weeks is, I'm sitting here going through these templates with you all and pointing things out and showing how the development of the templates start to form and build so that you all can do this on your own. But as far as the week goes, I 100% agree that unless I have an absolutely perfect trade, that the timing lines up, the pattern lines up, and it is an actual trading setup that I look for every single day, then I'm more than happy to just not take a trade all week long, wait for Friday, and then if Friday sets up for a good trade based off the template, 2 thumbs up, and also if Friday sets Monday up for a good trade, that could be a thing as well, right? And the whole mindset being one really good trade can offset multiple weeks of not taking a trade. And it really reduces stress as well. Whenever, these templates show up over and over again. So if you ever start to feel like, oh, that template's never going to come back, just remind yourself that it's going to show up again on at least one pair. And all you have to do is just wait, okay? Let's see, CAD news as well. Euro CAD, pound CAD. Need more patience. Yeah, well, hopefully in this stream, you can see me demonstrate as much patience as humanly possible. And that, honestly, that a lot of people ask me, and it's kind of a subjective question. It's not very objective. Some ways to build patience. And I'll tell you how I built the patience with trading in general. I built the patience with trading by, number one, taking really great trades on the days that the trades presented themselves and saying, that is the template. This is a day that I should absolutely be trading. I had confidence when I entered. I had confidence in putting size on that trade, and I had confidence in letting the trade play out. That proves to me that those trade templates and that trade setup works. It's given me the confidence to take that repeating setup over and over again. And then the other part of the patience is from looking at the market and saying, this looks like it's going to go down today, and getting absolutely crushed. Absolutely crushed, because the mindset shifted. I had a setup on the day that I did well. I didn't have a setup on the days that I did really poorly, and I got obliterated. And that same repeating thing happened over and over again, where I would get obliterated, and then I would have a day where I just did fantastic. And I was like, and I knew why I wasn't succeeding. I knew that I was taking really good trades because I had a setup, and I knew that I was losing and spiraling because I didn't have a trade, and I was just trying to get a trade in. So over time, and in my journaling process and in my discussions with, funny enough, my mom, who also trades, and she's been an enormous help with me as far as being able to discuss things out loud with somebody, and talking about where I'm going wrong, and hearing myself say over and over again why I'm not doing well. That over time is what built the really set in stone mindset of, hey man, stop taking those silly trades. You can make plenty of money if you just wait for the really good ones. You don't need to take a trade every day. Some weeks I do take a trade every day, but you don't need to. You're much better off and much less stress if you just wait until the perfect template shows up to the point of you can't stay out. There's no way that you could possibly look at that template and say, that isn't what I'm looking for. So I know that's really off the rails, and one simple little question sent me over the edge into a large discussion, but hopefully that helps you all a little bit. And if you're not doing that, if you're just journaling each day and writing stuff down, I highly suggest, and of course I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice, this is for education, informational purposes only, but I do highly suggest, even if you don't have somebody to talk to, if you have nobody to talk to about trading because they just don't understand, you don't have somebody to rant to or ramble to, most people have a phone, or most people have some kind of recording device. Get really comfortable talking to yourself. Go outside, stare at a tree, and just ramble into your phone about what you're doing well, what you're doing wrong. What did you do today that was horrible for your trading account? What did you do today that was really good for your trading account, and why? Was it you sitting on your hands and not doing anything, and that was good for your trading account? Or did you take a trade based off of a setup and just go on a rant to yourself about those things? And then over time, hearing yourself say the same things over and over again is going to start to cement it, and it takes time. It's not something that you can just say it once and it's like, oh yeah, I'll never do that again. Anyways, I digress. Let's get my charts up there, and hopefully I'm going to see what pairs I would like to focus on today. The CAD with all this news and this rectangle and this breakout, I feel like maybe this is a decent currency pair. I'm going to skip these ads for you all. I'm going to, you know what, let me sift back through. Let's see, natural gas. First red day, watch out for breakout pullback of Friday's high. I think that could be decent. Okay, US 30's already triggered previous day's high. Yesterday was an inside day. I'm watching the NASDAQ. We put in a base, pull back. Okay, so number one, I'm going to watch the NASDAQ. This was the peak formation low, peak formation high, inside day, breakout of that inside bar. We're at the high of the week. Not necessarily looking for a reversal, but not necessarily looking for a trend trade either. So I'm just going to keep NASDAQ up there. I think that is a good potential template to be watching. And so, therefore, I shall. Okay, that's my index. What do I think of gold? Okay, gold is totally on the inside. Even if it coils for a large move, I'm going to wait for gold because we're on the inside. We're tightly wound, tightly coiled. That's fine, but I don't want to be on the inside guessing a direction. What about silver? Okay, silver is on the outside. We broke out, day 3 of breakouts. And we're at the low of the current week in a rectangle. So this might be a candidate. Oil is day 3 of breakouts, so we're on the outside and we're in a rectangle. So this could also be a candidate, except, you know, I don't know. I kind of think that I like silver a bit more. The way the rectangle's built, the way the rectangle's formed. So I think that I'm going to leave silver up there. So that gives me NASDAQ silver. I don't really want to watch gold today because of the template. The pound. Okay, so the pound was first red day, peak formation high, peak formation low. Watching out for that breakout pullback. That could be a little finicky. We broke out of the lower rectangle. Yeah, and there's that oil news today, TR, thank you. There should be inventories at 10:30 unless the calendar is shifted or something. Righty then. I think this might be one that I need to be watching. So I'm going to put the pound up here. NASDAQ, good. Pound, decent. Silver, okay. And then I think that last one, I'm going to leave it as the natural gas. Because I just have a decent idea of what to look for. You know, I have a decent thesis about, you know, it's either going to be a high of day trade or a high of day or low of day trade, or this peak formation low that's forming right now. We've engulfed it to the upside. You know, we could watch the template continue to form and develop coming into our timing. And I'm good with that. That's all I really need. You all just watched me go through my actual thought process and when I do my analysis, I usually do this at night. And then what you just saw me do as far as pair selection, you know, I've got 4 pairs up there. I can easily watch 4. And a lot of times I'll have 4 up there, but I won't watch all 4. Usually I'll hone into 1 or 2 once that one starts to set up. Once it starts to do the things that I want to see, I'll usually focus in on that one. And sometimes that makes me miss trades, and you know what? That's okay. I have no problem with that. Okay. And I'm going to get some of these words a little bit smaller because this is just insane. Here we go. Got my thoughts up there. I've got my levels up there. I feel good. I feel good about today. I feel good about whether I'm going to sit on my hands or I'm going to actually, you know, catch the setup. Either way. All right. So let's get up the... Oh, man, that's obnoxious. Where are we at? 100 pip box. We're above 50. All right. We're in a 100 pip box on natural gas. We broke down from this one down into this one. Silver up there. That is the most flat consolidation I've ever seen. TR, are you throwing those periods up there so you can see what people are saying? Because I feel your pain if you are. Yeah, I got to do that same thing. That heart gets in the way. It's like, holy cow. YouTube, if you could just put that somewhere else, that'd be great. All right. Okay, so NASDAQ, we put in a peak formation at double zeros. 3 levels of rise would put us at, what is that, 75? That being said, we have broke out of an inside bar. So watch out for that breakout pullback. Don't get caught in the trap. But at the same time, we do inside bar, 3 levels of rise, high of day, high of week. I'd be fine with that as well. Gotta wait for that news calendar, though. Boy, that whipsaw on natural gas makes me like it a lot less. Peak formation high in Asia. Peak formation low in London. Consolidation in the middle in the US. In fact, I would even be willing to say, yeah. So we're in a 25 pip box. Peak formation high, peak formation low, 3 session setup. Natural gas? I don't know. It seemed okay yesterday when I traded it. I think that I was actually a little bit more shocked because I took a trade on silver as well. Silver, the contract size, this is a 25 pip box, but the value per tick or whatever is caught me off guard when I entered the trade. Which was fine because I was very quickly up a large amount of money, but not a large amount, but it was basically the moment I went into profit, I was like, that is a lot more than I normally would be up this many pips in profit. So now I know because it was my first time ever taking a trade on it. And of course, I was on my funded account, so made me a little nervous, but worked out all right. Use the micro on silver, yeah. For my 50K account, I might need to do that, but otherwise, I'll probably just keep on keeping on. I'm gonna get my broker logged into here. Get my broker chart set up. All right. I had some comments on previous videos about telling you all before I enter a trade. And that's fine. I get it. I've always came into this with a teach a man to fish, he'll fish for a lifetime sort of mentality. I don't want this to ever turn into a signal service. I think the value that I could provide teaching a mindset is far greater than you all benefiting from me entering trade. And also with the latency, there's some times where I get in and I get out a minute or two later. So by the time you all enter, you've entered in at the worst possible place and it's not safe anymore. And I definitely don't want to do that to you all. The way that I manage trades is how I manage trades. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. What I can do, though, is, like I've done at the beginning of this stream and that I do at the beginning of every stream, is do my quote-unquote analysis, just stating the facts of what has happened the past 2 to 3 days, showing how the template could be building or could be forming, and then knowing what setups are associated with the facts that are presented. If you know that, then you know what to look for. And then, I can just tell you all if I take the trade or not, show you how I manage, and if I'm in the trade for more than a few minutes, showing how I emotionally, how I'm emotionally involved in the trade, or not involved, but you know what I'm talking about, like my psychology while in the trade. I try to be verbal about it, just to show a realistic expectation, I suppose. And I think that's a lot more valuable than a signal service. If I can teach you all or show you all how to make a couple $100 in a day, that will translate very easily into how to make a couple thousand and more and more and more. Have I done the 150 yet? No, I have not even started it, but I'm going to here very soon. That is a goal before the end of this year I would like to have done. And if I start that 150 before the end of the year, which probably within the next few weeks, I'm looking to start it. And I, pass it in the first, like I did on the 50K account. I think I passed it in 3 or 4 days. If I do the same thing with the 150, I probably do a second 150 because you can only have, I think, 3 express accounts. But yeah. And honestly, if I get the 2 150s, I'll probably just take 100% payout on the 50 and then do another 150 to have 3 150s. But we will see. Yeah, and honestly, Ed, I think it's even more important to stop focusing on monetary value altogether and more on just taking the best trades that you possibly can, managing them the best way that you possibly can based off of where you should be entering, where you should be exiting. Master that process first, because the monetary amount that you receive based off of that discipline is going to be, it doesn't matter how much you're making. Once you consistently master the ability to enter only the best setups and take those trades, then you can master how to scale into those trades. And once you've mastered those two things, the size of your account is the only limiting factor. If you can make $100 on a 50K account or $100 on a 10K account, and you can do that consistently, who's to say that you can't have a larger account, a funded account, and make 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever? It's all about percents. It's all about, I'll even take it away from percents. Who cares? If you perform the best that you possibly can, the stats are to follow. You can have 5 accounts now. Oh, very well. Then maybe I won't do that. Maybe I will just get as many 150s as I can. Honestly, I'd probably be fine with just my personal account, the 50K, and then the 150. Between those 3, I really don't need anything more. It's all a journey. All right, I think it is. So it is 8:45 in the morning. A new 15-minute bar just started. Nasdaq is currently trading at the high of the day. The British pound has broke out of that lower rectangle. Did this kind of a spike up. One push, two push, three pushes into the low, down, up, down, engulfment. Breakout pullback. We might be seeing that continuation up, which is going to, hey, first red day yesterday. Which thesis is making more sense? We got to keep watching how the development of the template. But they may have just put in a base on top of Friday's high, going back towards or through the high of the week. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 1, day 2. Breakout pullback. Day 3. All right. Silver is looking mighty spicy. Peak formation high, peak formation low. In the session itself, they've spiked up, they've spiked down. We've got this lower rectangle built and formed. They've spiked up, they've spiked down. It's looking mighty spicy. I don't really like to take trades in the first hour, but if I did have to take, if someone forced me and said, Cam, you're going to take a trade right now, yeah, pound would have been good. Do I actually trade natural gas? Yesterday was the first day that I've taken a trade on natural gas, Ed. And that's only because the template was set up so well. For that 3 levels of rise, high of week, broke down, pumped back up. Yes, Paulie. That is a, what is this one? Up or down, engulfment. Is it a 5-bar reversal? Peak formation high, peak formation low in the session itself. They put in a high, they put in a low. They're going back up, obviously, through the high. Broke out of initial balance. Mike, I'm actually... Appreciate that, Paulie. Hey, Mike, I don't really know what you're asking. On which pair are you talking about? No worries, Mike. Do I trade US dollar, Japanese yen? Hey, Alex, so I used to. I didn't really take a lot of trades on it. That was when I was trading Forex, though. Now that I'm trading futures, you know when you get those markets that are kind of lightly traded, or I don't know. I get the check mark effect on that pair. The dashes. I get the dashes candles. They all look like this. And I have a hard time, obviously, trading that. It's not worth it to me, so I don't really do that anymore. Gold. Hey, gold's all on the inside. I've purposely stayed away from gold unless we get to the outside at some point today. Peak formation high, peak formation low. I've got, the ascension, the lower rectangle. We're breaking out to the upside. That's cool. That's all fine and dandy. We could go vertical, sure. But we're inside of Friday's high and Monday's low. And this is all, no weekly boundaries have been, actually I think Monday might have broke. Where is, yeah, Monday actually did break Friday's previous week's low, which is good. And you can kind of see the curvature Like this might be on its march back up. But for me, primarily wanting to trade at a certain time of day, I'm just going to go back. I actually don't remember. What did I have up there? I got to tell you, natural gas is really not making me happy. I had the pound up there. Yep. Thank you. Okay, we got 9:30 to worry about and that 10 o'clock news. All right, so my daily well-hydrated human being is about to occur. So I'm going to go for 30 seconds, get a refill on some caffeine so I can continue to be the chattermouth that I am, and I will be right back. 30 seconds. Yeah, those are some good. I think those were decent first hour trades, especially on like the pound. The way that is set up is pretty good. Not necessarily for pips distance, who really cares? But as far as the template goes, exactly what we talked about this morning, right? If only it would have happened around 9:30 or so, is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I told you all that I was going to be starting that 75 hard challenge a while back, doing a developing discipline series. Basically showing how somebody could go through and, genuinely just develop discipline in general. Within your life and within, of course, that translates into your trading. And I hadn't started it yet because my own living situation, I'm 30 minutes away from a gym. So I found that it would be a little bit difficult, and also lots of other factors as well. Just life in general. But I think I'm going to be starting that soon. I purchased an entire home gym yesterday. So I'm thinking about doing that. If that is something you all would like to see, please let me know. I think it's a good idea because I think a lot of people, the idea of having discipline probably sounds good, but to actually do it it's hard. It's very difficult. And since I've been out of the military, when I was a drill instructor, I was running basically a marathon a day, and I lost over 50 pounds. I used to be around 210 pounds. Not fat. Just, I was working out a lot. And when I went to, I'm 6'3". So when I went to be a drill instructor, I lost all that weight, and it's just really never came back. And I'm probably 175 pounds now. And so I think it'd be good because for me personally, I'm at a good point of like where a lot of people would probably be starting at. I haven't worked out in a while, so it'd be good to display it from a beginner's perspective, I guess. Craig, hey, the gym is just, yeah, I think so. The gym, it's a power rack, so it has the pull-up bar, the dips, um, the bench came with it, which was fantastic. Uh, Came with two barbells, 45-pound Olympic bars, um, over 500 pounds in plates and dumbbells. So, like you said, I should be able to get it back pretty quick with a good hybrid powerlifting bodybuilding program. Especially if I get back on my 3 to 4,000 calorie a day diet. All right, back to trading. I know I've just wandered very far outside of what the heck I should be talking about. So let's just talk about the pattern. Peak formation high, peak formation low inside day, 3-day template, breakout pullback, and now we're seeing gold rip to the upside, and that's fine. That's all good. Let's look at the lower rectangle, the 50 pip box, and just look at this pattern. All right, let's remove everything from the chart. This is the type of pattern that you really need to be searching for. Now, I was limited to the time of day that I like to take trades, but as far as the actual patterns and looking at structure and things like that, we had a rectangle down low that they've broken out of and pulled back, and then there's the ascension for that parabolic channel. John, good stuff. That's what I like to hear. And I would say that is perfect. That's pretty perfect for most people. It could have been perfect for me. Personally, I really do have certain templates that I like to look for, and I'm more than happy to just wait for when that shows up. We're about to come into a new hour. And okay, the inside day, the inside bar's all the way up there. Close of 8:35. Very nice. Engulfment, pin hammer. Oh, you beat me to it. I said pin hammer the same time you typed it, John. Good stuff. You want to take a look at Bitcoin? Okay. Let's see. What in the world is my indicator doing? Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so this is Monday. This is going to be tough. What in the world? Hold on. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there we go. About to lose my mind. This is the second day of breakouts. Into the third. Got a lot of volume trapped down low. I think I'm going to leave that alone. No, I've not taken any trades yet. I'm still waiting for the news, 9:30, all those things. The same things that I always wait for. You know, I like to wait for certain times of the day. Let's see, pound. There we go. Although I do think gold would have probably been, that was easy free money. As far as templates go, though, I think that silver, we got 3 days of breakouts and a very similar template to gold. Get rid of this. All right, I've got my eyeballs, my little eyeballs on silver here. I've got silver up on my other screen. Although I think that my entry would be probably a bit late. See if things continue to develop or how they develop. The last thing I want to do is try and trade any sort of movement at all. right, 9:06. So we're into the second hour now, which is good. TR, yep, we're on the same page. And that's part of the reason I didn't really feel comfortable when I said it at the beginning of the stream. Although, yes, this is a good, I would say a 3-session, probably a 3-session setup or a 3-session template. Good for that first hour blow off explosion. I think we're on the same page, TR, about waiting for the larger, getting on the outside, if you will. You know, days of breakouts. We're still on inside of Friday's high and Monday's low, and really just the opening range in general, high low of the week. Yep, I agree. Gold has been building a very large box, especially if you look at the higher time frames. Not that I'm necessarily making decisions based off of larger larger time frames, but if you look at the daily chart, oh, that's the weekly chart. Just kidding. The daily chart on gold. Yeah, I mean, you can see the consolidation. We're in between high and a low, and it's just coiling sideways now in between that high and that low. It's ready for something. It's ready to blow off somewhere. But again, looks like it's going to blow off somewhere. Is not a trading setup. So, waiting for that to present. Oh, Mr. NASDAQ, where are you going? There's Monday's high, breakout pullback, peak formation low, inside day. Peak formation low was made in London. I would need to see a better template, John. Lots of things I think would need to happen. Peak formation low. This is a breakout of, oh man, that's a lot of hours of consolidation, right? I would consider this level 1, maybe 2, maybe going to 3. We trigger the high. They would need to consolidate level 3, put in a peak formation high, drop it down, preferably underneath the EMA, but peak formation high would need to be put in place. They need to go sideways. So like a lot, of course, anything could happen, right? We're just waiting for the steps, if you will. But overall, what could really happen is, what if we're in a 3-day template where this first red day is null and void, peak high, peak low, rectangle in the middle, and this starts blowing off towards the high of the week? All right, so that would be definitely a watch out for that. You know, don't just assume that it's going to go down today. Remember, there's certain templates that I like to see after first red day, especially when there's first red day and a day 1 breakout on the same day. You know, 3 sessions of rise, 3 levels of rise. This one here where the rectangle breaks out to the upside is... Oh, Euro. My apologies. John, I switched it over to Euro. I don't know. We'll see. I'll leave it on there. Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of steps that need to take place. Like it's a pretty strong up move. Which, I mean, they can come down just twice as fast, so we'll see. But it would definitely need to go up there and go into consolidation. NASDAQ is definitely on a front side of a move. And you can see the acceleration. The last thing I want to do is try to short something on the front side of a move that's going vertical to the upside in a range expansion. That would be along the lines of what I said at the beginning of the stream. Taking a trade that is not perfect. Especially when, from what I've found as well, Monday through Thursday, it keeps on looking like maybe it should reverse, and you keep on trying to trade the reversal all week long, and you just keep getting punched in the face. And then Friday comes along, and basically it's just dragging in a direction day after day after day. No reversals. And then come Friday, you finally get that reversal. Or even Friday's the beginning of the reversal, and then Monday's the trade. Yeah, exactly. NFP weeks do that. That's why I'm being uber cautious. We got 15 minutes to the New York Open. New 15-minute bar just formed. Let's take a look at the 15 coming into the New York Open. Okay, gold is in 300 pip box. Peak formation at the low of the week, peak formation at the high of the week in a 300 pip box. We're going back up towards the high of that 300 pip box, but we're not even remotely close. Just double checking my details because details matter. Details matter. Okay, I'm watching silver. No, there's audio. I'm just watching silver very intently, if you will. Watching silver to see if it's going to squeeze at 930. Or if this is just a retest of the high. Three days of breakouts. Lower rectangle consolidation, breakout pullback. Also that news at 10. All right. 4 minutes to the New York Open. Waiting patiently. So the pound is breaking down. Take a look at it. What story are they trying to tell? Are we at the high of day on gold? Yeah. Still pretty on the inside though. Okay, there's 930s open. Still watching. Let's see. Pound. Put in a little W. Being very patient. Do not get caught in the movement. US 30 had a nice stair step. Okay, we're 3 minutes into this 5-minute bar. More than likely going to wait till after the news, Emmanuel. If anything at all. Okay, new 5-minute bar just formed. Silver broke back down. In a market that's breaking out to the downside. Bottom left is silver. TR. Third day of breakouts to the downside. We're in a rectangle down low. They've pumped it back up to the high of the day. We have this smaller rectangular consolidation down here. Oh, top left is NASDAQ. We've got, what about 23 minutes until the news, 10 o'clock. Bottom left is silver. Market that's breaking out to the downside. But 3 days of breakouts down. But that does not mean that it can't keep going lower by any means. Minutes to the news. Is that black line? What is that? Okay, previous day's high, also the high of the week. Inside day. All right. How are y'all doing? Hopefully waiting patiently and not getting chopped into oblivion on all this, whatever this is. Whipsaw. Time is the most important thing. Good stuff. No, I chose to watch the NASDAQ. Is the US 30 presenting better? Well, very well. Not back down to close of yesterday. But you noticed it, Kendall, and you jump back in there. The right mindset is good. Hey, Joseph. I appreciate that. It's good to be back. And if you are here right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching, I will just assume that you kind of liked the video a little bit. So do me a favor, hit the little thumbs up button. It really does help the stream. Not to sit here and, I'm not going to sit here and fish for it, but it does help the stream out. So yeah, thanks. Waiting for that news. Waiting for that third hour. See if it's excuse me. Coming into the third hour, I'm gonna reassess and double check the templates and see what's building, or if anything's building at all. And if not, it'll be another day of not doing anything, and that's cool. Hopefully it's not a pump and dump, David. Was there some kind of news at 9:45? The CAD news? That's crazy. Let's see what the old CAD just did. Where's the CAD? Whoa. All right. What was the CAD's template? Day one breakouts to the downside. We had day one breakouts to the upside, breakout pullback. explosive move up. Okay. Shaky, there's audio. I'm just kind of glancing at the templates real quick and checking to see what I'm looking for. Nah, no worries. No worries. Bottom left is silver. I wonder if I could... Here, let me do this. Let me... can I move this? Can you all see that now? Can you see all four of the chart titles? There we go. Maybe now. All right. Good stuff. Have I tried using there was a reason why I didn't like it. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, I always just use the browser though. I know that's not exactly a good answer. Oh. JT. I can appreciate the humor. I can appreciate it. Fair play. I know that you all want to see all these different pairs and stuff, and I'm really trying my best now that we're about to come into the third hour. I'm just going to stick with what I've got. I don't want to be flipping back and forth. One thing with me is when I start doing that, frantically looking for something, either one, I'll miss something, or I tend to flip and then I don't see all the details that I needed to see. And next thing you know, I have FOMO'd into something for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather just not take a trade. So I'm going to hang out here with these four. I've got the NASDAQ top left, pound top right, silver bottom left, gold bottom right. And let me take a look. I will take a look at oil real quick. I know we've got inventories at 10:30. Oil's been in a down moving market. They broke out. They pumped up. Broke down under. Engulfed. Cool. Okay. Take a look at natural gas. That looks horrible. Okay, we're not going to look at that. Soybeans. Silver futures, Kim. Consolidation, spike the high, spike the low. Not a setup for me, but keeping me out of nonsense. We might be in an expansion up unless something changes. Because they've just done a 1, 2, 3 to the high. If it starts to break down, okay. But again, remembering non-farm payrolls, a lot of times things are not going to be as they seem. They'll just keep dragging on and dragging and dragging and dragging. You're like, when is it going to reverse? Holy cow. So, probably just sticking in line with breakouts at this point is probably the best. Unless it's perfect. Six minutes. Got both my dogs under my feet. Holy cow, they're freaking me out. They're camping out under my desk. Oh. Four minutes to this news. I gotta tell you, as far as parabolic setups go, maybe it's gonna come after the news, but might be a lackluster Wednesday considering the non-farm. NASDAQ over US 30. I just honestly 50-50 shot. They're both similar templates as far as peak formation high, peak formation low, inside day. Both of them had tapped into the previous day's high. I just grabbed NASDAQ over US 30. There was really no thought There was no thoughts behind those eyes when I chose it. I got a 50-50 shot of being right. Watching EU on 5. Why? Let's see. AF, you watching for it to break down or for that peak formation to get put in place? If that 5-minute bar closes a certain way, is that what you're waiting for? I think this is the one. This is one of the ones where shaky. That's a strong move there, but very well. Okay, we got news in 2 minutes. Look at that annoying little... It's a neat way of consolidating the market. Just waiting for the news. Everything's in a box right now. High and a low. They're just holding it in these consolidation patterns. I'm waiting for a setup. A visual image in a series of things that have taken place in the market before executing. There's the news. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to definitely let this volatility play out. Let this 5-minute bar close and see where we're at. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'm going to wait for this 5-minute bar to close, Nicolo. I'm not about to get absolutely punched in the face with this volatility whipsaw. The NASDAQ is just annihilating. We're in a 50 pip box. They put down a 50 pip pin. Now we're right back up at the high. Euro might be a snowplow. I am watching the euro. But I'm watching it patiently. Have I seen NVIDIA? No. What happened to NVIDIA? Yeah, let's see. Oh, NASDAQ is being mighty dirty. Looks like the euro is. But is it perfect? Let's see, that was a 4-hour. I really just don't feel like getting whipsawed. As far as setups go, I mean, it's just very consolidated, choppy. We're about to get a new 5-minute bar open. Man, these things are just chop city. Up candle, down candle, up candle, down candle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No setup presenting. A television aerial. I'm gonna tell you, I just got some bad feeling about all of this. None of this looks like a setup that I'd like to take. I'm gonna give it another 15 minutes. I might change my mind if something presents better. But as of right meow, it's not feeling too good. And I am not about to just hop in on something because whatever. Look at this. Right back into consolidation. Silver's back up there hitting that 9:30 open. Yeah, 34 seconds to this 5-minute bar closes. Okay, new 5-minute bar just opened. Chop, chop, chop. Yep, yep, yep. Shaky's just the normal non-farm payrolls week. This is one of those setups that I just posted in Discord not too long ago about going long at the high of the day. I posted it in the template beauties when they put it in this extended consolidation like this and it turns into a short squeeze. Sometimes, or a lot of times, these are going to, this could be a range expansion day. And a day that, goes vertical coming out of that, what you believe to be push 3, but then it just keeps going and you're like, what the heck? And I've got the range expansion tool up there. Of course, I have no idea. That could be, could not be. I really don't want to sit here and guess direction. This was one of the ones that I was talking about maybe putting into my basket on certain types of days. This exact same consolidation shows up over and over. I just think they can be tough to kind of tough to trade. Let's see. On dances where there's potential for a larger range expansion, and you get up into that third push, and they're dragging people in a direction, and it refuses to break down. So, like for example, like there was never any sort of breakdown, right? They dumped it into the EMA a couple times. They engulfed down, sure, but then it immediately just gets taken away again, and then starts to squeeze and go vertical. This, I think you might be in the Discord. I don't know, but I posted. I mean, it's almost an exact template to this one. Inside days leading into a parabolic trend trade. This coil, I mean, it's a coil, right? It looks like it's going to break down, but it never engulfs the neckline. Instead, it just stops at the low. They pin down through the low. They're getting people to shorten the low, getting people to shorten the low, getting people to shorten the low, and then it just all of a sudden starts ripping in the other direction. It's in the charting beauties section. Thoughts on gold is going vertical. I know, crazy analysis. I'm watching silver right now. I'm watching silver to go vertical right now. All right, silver is not looking like it's going to go vertical. Let's see here. I'm still watching silver. I'd really like to see it, if it's going to go vertical, like it really should just go vertical at this point. And that's a big if. Okay, I'm still watching silver. Still not able to make a new high. Still jamming up into the bottom of this. What is this? 75. Quinn, you have a great day. Just doesn't seem to want to give it up. Let's see. All right, here we go. Coming into a new hour, 45 minutes into the hour. If it's not going to go vertical, then it's not going to go vertical. Maybe trying to scare people. It could also be the third push up into the high of day. Little stop hunt to the high. working it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I'm seeing anything. It's getting late in the session. I am just going to call it quits. We'll come back. Survived another day. I will see you all in the next one. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.